Hi guys, good afternoon. Welcome everybody to Luna Sky Diamond live on Facebook and Luna Sky Diamond on my channel in YouTube. Today, the purpose of my video is to catch up a little bit with my last video in which I spoke about the importance of raising your vibration in many ways. Raising your vibration not only so that you are happier and the people that surround you are happier, but at the same time you are contributing to the happiness of the whole humankind by creating a ripple effect. So in my last video I spoke about the importance of food, the vibration of the food that you are consuming, for example. I spoke about the importance of consuming life force energy, organic, non-GMO products for our health in in a holistic way, starting from within. So high vibrational foods, superfoods like spirulina, and what I said in the last video is that as humanity we are awakening every single time more and more to the truth of this whole matrix. So we are basically realizing that we have to take better care of ourselves, and that includes for instance, we are becoming very sensitive to energies. I had a very interesting experience. I thought I was never going to quit coffee. Well, I'm Colombian. All my life I've been drinking coffee as soon as I wake up in the morning and during the day, and so on and so on. But all of a sudden, in one of my meditations not long ago, like about a month ago, I got this very clear feeling and understanding from my higher self that I should stop drinking coffee for many reasons. And so I did. And I have seen the wonderful benefits that has bring into my life, and I'm not gonna talk about them because they're some of them they're very personal, and it really doesn't matter. What matters is that I felt that benefit of not drinking coffee anymore in many ways. I feel that my glands are not being stimulating and manipulating, but sort of like I am more in tune with myself, and I am more centered and more focused, and actually less tired. There is a reason why there is a coffee shop all over the world. So just to ponder, you guys, ponder about it. But really, how does coffee affect your adrenal glands and all your system, and the way you think and what you do and what you act? My personal experience is just that since I quit coffee a month ago, I've been feeling very more calm, more peaceful, more centered. And interestingly enough, 2 days ago I had a coffee, and as it never happened to me before with a coffee, I have becoming so sensitive to the energies that I've been talking to you about, that you are aware to in your own body, the things that you no longer tolerate, whether it's milk, whether it's alcohol or cigarettes or whatever. But as we ascend in humanity, and these vibrations that are coming from the sun are raising our the density of light in our reality, we are becoming more clearer in the ways that we listen to our bodies and we act accordingly. So anyway, I had this coffee and I felt that I was going to have a heart attack. Instantly my hands started sweating and I started really, my heart really started like, it just didn't really feel good. So of course, in a state like that, one could feel very vulnerable to manipulations of all sorts, electromagnetic or, well, whatever it is, in order for us to feel unhappy, or like, for example, watching news and things like that. But anyway, my point is, it is beneficial for us to choose high vibrational, organic, non-GMO food, so that our cells are full of light and healing. All right, this video is dedicated to the wanderers. The wanderers are those souls that have chosen to take this body in this lifetime to bring light, to anchor the light on the Mother Earth for the benefit of humankind by doing our part consciously. The wanderers are all of us who have always felt that we don't belong to any group, that we kind of feel the loners, and kind of like people really don't get it, or at some point maybe I am the crazy one, but in reality you know that you're not, because the wanderers, the people who are in service to others, are always in tune with their inner knowing of their divine purpose of why they are here alive. So for all of you who are listening right now, the wanderers, the ones who are in service to others, the ones who care about the survival and the quality of life and the future for humankind. If you are aware of everything that is going on behind the scenes, of course you are aware, and that's why you are listening. So thank you for tuning in. So for you, it is this very short personal experience that I want to share with you. For all of us and all of you that are working with the light, that are working with the energy of love, that are working in service to others, that really care for your neighbor, your brother, and yourself. First of all, for all of us who are making an effort, a conscious effort for bringing a more positive outcome into this reality of life, that in which less people are suffering and things like that. Those of us that are working with the energy of love are very susceptible and vulnerable to being targeted for negative energies, negative vibes, negative juju, and psychic attacks, and you name it. I know that sounds very crazy, but I know that all of you who are very sensitive, very sensible to energies, and you can feel positive energy, you can feel bad energy. I mean, it's not rocket science. All you have to do is follow your intuition and pay attention. So if you really trust yourself and your intuition, you can literally sometimes tell who is literally sucking away your energy, like a freaking vampire. Or when you feel energy attacks of negative thoughts or vibes or things like that, we could be targeted. Well, yes, parentheses. not only the people that are working with the light could be targeted for being attacked by energies that don't have our best interest, but also the people who are experimenting with drugs that are from the darkness. In reality, within the reality is that all drugs are sacred, because everything is about perspective and how you approach and how you relate to them. But in general rules, the way I see it, there are drugs that are of the light and there are drugs that are of the darkness. More or less, the way that you can actually identify one way or another is which substances or substances come from Mother Earth or are natural, and which ones of those are man-made. So for those people who are experimenting, for example, with drugs of the darkness, as I see it, I call it drug of the darkness just to put a name right now, they are very susceptible people to act in ways that do not serve them well, that hurt them and hurt other people, because the energy of the drugs is actually spirits that attach to your energy field, and they suck up from your energy like energy vampires, and they are actually controlling you like a little puppet to act or feel in a certain way, like for example depressed and believing that this life has no meaning or purpose or things like that. So it is not really you, because when you are you without untouched influences or with the assistance of the substances of light, then the opposite happens. We see more clearer, we are more centered, we are more in tune with who we really are, and we feel happy and positive. So basically, a drug from the darkness, the way I see it, makes you feel shitty and unhappy in a way, and a medicine of the light, one created by Mother Earth, then you are happier and feel grateful and feel healthier. So that's the way you know which one is which, if you feel good or if you feel bad. It's all about learning to know ourselves and to listen to our bodies. Believe me, guys, it has taken me so many years to understand about my body, how many things affect me in different ways. So as I have become very sensitive, I have been dropping things that no longer work for me, and I feel more clearer and happier. And now I am to the point that I'm actually not drinking coffee, because now when I drink coffee, I totally feel kind of like I'm going to have a heart attack. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to drink coffee anymore, but all I'm saying is that I am very aware of how all the energies affect us. Okay, so the food. Back to the beings that are in service to others, that they tend to be or feel attacked by forces of negativity, negative entities, bad juju, bad vibes, things like that. This video is for you. Recently, I learned a very wonderful, powerful tool to protect myself. From precisely the energy attack of these negative entities. because I actually started feeling them, and it's kind of creepy because um, this started like last year, for probably mm, I don't know, let's say October or September last year, things like that, where I would go to sleep, and when I woke up actually very tired and with a lot of memories of nightmares and weird, really, really weird dreams. And then during the day, even though I'm a very positive, happy person, sometimes during the day I had little flashes of my dreams, and I would just like stop and try to connect to that energy and what the meaning was, but it was never really connected to really something really positive. So for a while, it had been already for a while that I had been going to sleep and waking up tired. Tired and weird, instead of feeling actually rested and revitalized and rejuvenated. So I started feeling weird about this situation, and it kept going on and it kept going on. But at some point, I'm a very intuitive being as well, and I listen to my body, and I also pay attention to my dreams and things like that. So I really had the feeling that I was being targeted by these energies during my sleep, particularly. But as when we don't want to see things, when we are not ready to see things, I chose to just disregard that intuition and let it go. Then at some point in December, a friend of mine who has access to somebody who has access, blah, 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 to some intel information of some insiders of how some of these dark entities work with the people that work with love and this golden light. He handed me a document that he printed for me while I was reading on my trip back home to Colombia. I didn't have the opportunity to read it in the airplane, but when I got home in Colombia, probably in the first week, I just opened my sealed envelope and I started reading the information, and the whole document was about how, particularly and specifically, some of the entities that are working with the dark side work with some of us. And then I had no doubt that I had been targeted during my sleep. Nevertheless, when I read the information, a lot of that information was very creepy and unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sometimes I by reading that information, I felt as when people that are being mind controlled by the media and all of a sudden listen to a conspiracy theory and they want to judge it as being crazy or being out of the mind, because that's precisely why they have been controlled to react like that instead of being open-minded to see the truth. And so the first reaction when people are exposed to the truth is actually rejection and denial. So even though I am such an open-minded person to understand and try to approach many theories in life as possibilities, I felt that I should contemplate this possibility to be real. Nevertheless, my first reaction was one of denial and rejection. So I was there at my dad's house and I read a document that was fat like that. I couldn't stop reading because everything seemed so familiar and so real. Nevertheless, the source of these documents, it was as these documents are talking to me in my privacy mode of my dreams and my experiences, and it felt so creepy to actually contemplate the possibility that it was a fact that precisely I had been targeted by these negative entities during my sleep. I know this sounds so crazy, but when I read this document and I started putting one and one together, meaning my own experiences, many times when I woke up and I feel weird, and I even have, I don't even want to talk about that in public or to anybody. That's one of the things, some things that you don't even want to talk about to anybody because they believe you might be crazy. And I've kept them quiet, and then all of a sudden I read this document, and I actually cried of anger to realize that, I don't know, when you are exposed to a truth that you do not want to accept, that is totally out of your intellectual concept, then you reject it and you freak out. So my first reaction was to actually, I read them all these documents, and then I just like tear them in half and by chunks, and then I throw them in the garbage. But that doesn't mean that I don't have the information here already. So now, after the process of when people are confronted to a certain truth that they are not ready to accept, the first reaction is, wow, no, rejection, you're so crazy. Then you kind of like, oh, calm down. And then with some more assertiveness, you start being more open to understand why things happen a certain ways, and contemplating to many different reasons or sources or possibilities of why you are going through certain experience, or why life or reality is in a certain experience. So what I am saying is that I wind up accepting that which I read in that document had happened to me, that was real, and that now that I accepted it, what can I do about it? So this video is for you, the light workers, the people who are in service to others, to learn how to protect themselves from vampire attacks, energy attacks, bad juju, whether it's live or with people around you or in your dreams. Thank you for listening. And I mean, this video is for everybody who wants to protect themselves energetically from any, let's say, negative influence in your aura and in your life. So what I decided to do, there is a quote of somebody that I don't know his name, but it says something like the worst thing for you to do, like the only thing that evil has to do to triumph is for the good people to see it and don't do nothing. So realizing that, and if I realize that I might have been negatively energy attacked in my dreams, then I needed to protect myself, because I need to do something about it. I cannot just stop and pretend, oh no, this is not real, this is crazy, this is blah, whatever. But actually no, because since I took control of this part of my life that is actually very important, my life here in these 3 density experience has been improved exponentially in many, many, many ways. And I have way, way, way more power than before. And this is just by protecting myself while I go to sleep by saying the following thing. So I believe in the power of the word. I believe that we create as we speak. So I would like to share with you what I came up with today. Like I've already been saying it for a little bit over 2 or 3 weeks. You can say it out loud or you can say it in your mind before you go to sleep. But basically now that for this video today, I wrote it down. So, before I go to sleep, and because as a sovereign soul, I have the power to decree what I want, because the most important, how do you say that, rule of the universe is free will. So, I, as a sovereign soul that I am, nobody can mess up with me, man. It's what I'm saying. So for you guys, before going to sleep, if you want to follow me, I want to share with you what I am using right now and has kept me happier, more centered and more powerful, but happier. And then when I wake up, I actually wake up rested and happy. So this is what I say to decree and to stand my ground. As the sovereign soul that I am, I command that all entities leave my space right here and right now. I surround myself with a golden bubble of light to protect my house, my room, my body, my etheric body, my soul, and my dreams. I ask my protectors and my higher self to stand by my side all night long. And I invite those beings of love and golden light to communicate with me if they wish. So it is. So thank you for listening, guys. Since I have been standing my ground with my decree, things have been going great. So I invite you to do the same in any alternative and mean and whatever you need it for to protect yourself from negative energy. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I love you all. Please go to my YouTube channel, Luna Sky Diamond. Click like and subscribe.